All right, here's another very special test. We're going to test 44 special versus 38 special. I've been wanting to do this test for a very long time, actually about 3 years now. I've been wanting to test this particular 44 special round, but I have not been able to find it for the past 3 years. And I want to test that through my Smith & Wesson Model 69 with a 4-inch barrel. And by the way, you know, testing ammo like that is actually why I purchased this particular revolver. This is in 44 Magnum. I was going to get like a Charter Arms Bulldog, Target Bulldog, but then I found this for not that much more, so I was like, hey, that's a lot better revolver for not that much more money, to be honest. So I'm going to test 44 special versus 38 special in 4-inch barrels here on Model 69 and 44 mag, our Model 686 and 357 mag. These are both Smith & Wessons. And what we have today is lead Semi-Wadcutter 44 special versus 38 special. So our 44 special is a 200 grain Semi-Wadcutter hollow point, almost looks like a big 22 or something, versus our 38 special 158 grain Semi-Wadcutter hollow point. You know, stuff like this is really always fascinating me, because back in the day, you know, 38 special, in order to get something that was a little bit better, what they had to basically do is just go bigger, you know, just like 9mm to 45. And yeah, there was like 357 mag that was developed off the 38 special, but you had to have like a giant gun to do that. So basically the answer back in the day was, hey, if something doesn't perform perfectly, how about we just go up a little bit bigger? So that's really all that the 44 special is a big version of the 38 special. Very interesting ammunition. So our 38 special, I'm going to take a look at its rating here. It says it's rated at 830 feet per second. And our 44 special, quite a bit heavier bullet, it is rated at 870, so it's actually got a higher velocity rating, even though it's a bigger bullet. So I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity numbers I actually get with those. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test, and I'm just going to go into plain clear ballistics all by itself to see what the best potential is of these bullets, see if we get expansion and all of that, what kind of penetration. And then after that, I'm going to do more of a real world simulation where I'm going to put on 4 layers of denim on the front of this first 3-inch block here that represents our pectoral muscle. After that, I'm going to have a 1/4-inch medium density fiberboard to represent hitting ribs or sternum. And after all of that, I am going to shoot up my steel silhouette, see what kind of practical accuracy I can get, because none of this matters for ballistic performance in like internal, external, terminal ballistics if I can't hit the target. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up we have our 38 special rated at 830 feet per second. I'm about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's see how close I get to 830 in my 4-inch barrel Smith & Wesson Model 686. 848. 840, 859, 846. Alright, let me get one more. 798. So all those are really good until that last shot there. That could indicate maybe bullet pull from recoil, I don't know. But our 44 special is rated at 870 feet per second. So let's see what we get for my 4-inch Model 69 here, Smith & Wesson 69. 809. No read. No read. 689. 738. So we can see they're not very consistent. I was hoping for better consistency there, but that's what we get with that. So let's add our ballistics gel block, see what we get with these. All right, plain clear ballistics, best potential here. See what we get with our 38 special. All right. Let's try our 44 special. Let's take a look. All right, that is interesting. That's definitely something I was not expecting to see. I thought, you know, we would get some expansion with these, but our 38 special, we got nothing, just zipped right through that block. We got a penetration of about 30.5 inches. Got no bullet deformation, nothing like that. Very little damage in there. Our 44 special didn't do a whole lot better. However, Couple things are a little bit better with it. We didn't get expansion, but we got a little more damage, just a little more damage. And our total penetration is at about 20.25 inches. Our bullet actually stopped at about 19. So as far as over penetrating, that one didn't do too bad. But let's put it on our denim and put on our MDF and see how they compare that way. All right, denim and MDF, 38 special. See how this does. Try 44 now. All right, 44 special, MDF, denim. See how this does. Let's go take a look. All right, so that kind of reversed everything here. Our 38's on the bottom here. Here's our 44, not much different size hole there. And our 38 actually got more damage. I really can't tell if that's expansion in there or not until I pull that bullet out. There's probably not really any, but probably what's going on here, it could potentially be tumbling there. And we lose momentum when we hit stuff like that with that lighter bullet. But we went to about 16 inches. So I would trust this as a real world simulation. I would say that's probably going to do pretty well. A 44 special, we just went straight in a straight line. We have decent damage up there. And it just trucks right along to just shy of 24 inches. There's some nose deformation there. So it's really kind of hard to call this. It's very interesting how with the plain gel shot, the 44 didn't go as far. It seems like it should have went further. But overall, yeah, I really can't say one is better or worse here by looking at this particular test. So maybe at this point, shootability is something that will matter. You know, if I can control a round better, or if one is just about as easy to control as the other, it might give me a little information on that. So let me shoot up my steel and see how they do for me. All right, I'm about 12 yards from the target. Both these Smith & Wesson revolvers are pretty similar in weight. I think that the 38 weighs like 2 ounces more. About the same barrel travel, very similar triggers. So this would be a fair test for its shootability. So I'm gonna pull up my 38, 38s, try to put some on target, just see how they feel for me for being able to make multiple shots. So here's our 38 special. It looks like, you know, I started pulling them high and they just started to go high. I kept my sight aimed center right there, but for some reason they just wanted to jump up for me. So 44 special. Let's see how these shoot for me from 12 yards. There's our 44. All right, interesting that they're all impacting to the right. That's not typical. It's very interesting that that's what we're seeing. You know, I have my sights perfectly centered like I normally do. We're hitting to the right. That's odd. So let me back up a little bit and see what kind of accuracy we have that way. All right, decided to try 40 yards, see what I can get from 40 yards with these. So see what I can do here with our 38 special. It's interesting because slower fire, I don't seem to have that problem pulling it right, and pulling it right is just not a problem I typically have. That's interesting though. So let me try a 44, see how this does. All right, see now at that distance, kind of want to go left. Interesting. Let me back it up. I have a few more rounds. Let me back it up a little and see what kind of accuracy I can get at just my 75-yard distance. All right, I'm at my 75-yard marker. Let's see if I can make a hit with our 38 special here. Looks like I pulled one. I got just 3 rounds of the 44 left, so let's see if I can make a hit with this. I don't know where that went. I think these were hitting a little bit low. I think that first shot went low because I aimed a little bit high. But one thing I am seeing here with this, you know, it's interesting because they all feel very stout when I'm shooting them now. But when I was going over the chronograph, there was some inconsistency. It's almost like that was just randomly that I had inconsistent ones with the ones going through the chronograph, because when I'm seeing firing at targets, they seem a little bit more consistent. Like they're all hitting really, really fast. And they're all consistently accurate, which is really interesting that I had an issue at 12 yards. You know, generally, you know, I come from the old school where, you know, you're going to pull it left if you're going to do something wrong. I just can't wrap my head around how they're going right, other than maybe I just was seeing my sights wrong or something like that as they came up. It's just an interesting thing. But from what I can tell from going a little bit slower is that, you know, the windage isn't too bad off either way. So I'm gonna say these are all very accurate, and there's a reason why rounds like this are accurate, is just because, you know, you take a normal 38 special at 357 diameter, the lead ones are going to be 358. They're a little bit bigger. You know, it forces into that rifling, and that rifling pretty much makes the bullet what it is. It shapes it down essentially, and it, you know, it's coming out very accurately. Same thing with 44. You know, it's a 429. You go up to lead, it's generally 430. It's smushing in there, and they can be very accurate rounds. But what I'm seeing here with our ballistic test here is I just wasn't all that impressed. You know, at the same time, it's about what you would expect. It's not like there's any surprises here. It's not like I expected to see some giant mushroomed bullet. I hoped for that, but 90% in my mind before I did this test, I'm like, it's not going to do anything. It's just, I'm curious about this ammo because it's, you know, it's federal. I wanted to see what would happen. So out of both of these, I'm gonna say a 44 special. Yeah, I wouldn't really get that for self-defense. I'm not really seeing what the point of that particular 44 special is, to be honest, just because they're expensive. I mean, I think I paid $50 for that 20 round box. There's just nothing really there. As where our 38 special, they're hollow points, 50 round box. I think I paid 35 bucks or something like that. And, you know, it was marketed as like the train and defend or train and protect, I believe it is, where it's, you know, it's target prices, but they also have hollow points. So overall, I would say the 38 special, from what I'm seeing from its real world testing, that was good enough. I would probably use that if I didn't have anything better, because once it hit something hard like our rib simulation, it did not over penetrate. You know, just going through plain gel doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. So I would say our 38's okay for what it is, and it's a standard pressure, so it'd be safe in pretty much any revolver. So that's what you get today. Hope for better results, but didn't really get better results, so that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.